You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in that little person. You have to believe for your kids. Initially, I started. Hey guys, welcome back to TelaTash. This person that's here today is none other than Miss Mills, my teacher, my mentor. She was actually my junior high school teacher, and she took me under her wings, and she didn't even have to, but she just saw something in me. And I always wanted to ask you, what did you see in me that made you take me under your wing?
So you talk about what all the things I've done for you, but you have also returned that favor to me. So upon us first meeting, it was more of your confidence. So this young lady, Natasha, shows up at my door like, I'm gonna monitor for you. And I'm like, I ain't asked for no monitor. Like, I don't need no monitor. She's like, no, because your floors are dirty. And I was like, they are? And she's like, yes. And so from the beginning, I wasn't used to a child exhibiting so much confidence. And so I kind of like took a step back and was like, okay, let me see what this girl's gonna do. And so from that very moment when I opened my door to you, my classroom door, I also opened my heart to you, and that began our relationship every day. You sweeping the floors, but also us in conversation, in deep conversation, in fun conversation. I shared pieces of my life, you shared pieces of your life, and we went from there. It's something that doesn't happen often. Teachers having and building a relationship with their students, it doesn't always happen. This was my second year teaching, and so I can honestly say I didn't know what I was doing at all. I was like winging it from the first year. And so I made a lot of mistakes my first year teaching, and then you came into the picture my second year, and so that was actually my turning point for me to like notice the mistakes I made the first year, and then try to turn that around. 360, turn it around and be a good teacher. So at the end of that second year, I felt like, okay, I think I could do this.
Ready.
Right. I think I could do this. But I noticed when I think about you, and I think about your struggles, and I think about your life and where you came from and where you are today, I noticed that those type of relationships are not like, it's hard to find teachers and students that are close and that remain close, beyond the school walls. And I cherish that, I do. Natasha likes to say how, you saved my life type of thing, but she also saved mine. I was trying to continue my education. I was trying to get my master's so that I could be a certified teacher. I just had a baby amongst the other three that I already had
at that time.
And so I had a struggle with getting to school on time. And my husband, he's great, he tried to help me, but he's making me late. It's like I'm a fail right out of my master's program, so I went to him, and I think at the time you were, I believe, in the 10th grade. I believe you was going to South Shore, but you were still coming down the block to build a seat because y'all had like a dance team.
Had after school program. We were dancing.
Right, so I was running into you from time to time, and I snatched you up one day. It was like, girl, you gotta help a sister out. Like, I'm about to fail. And you were like, how you are now, just like laughing. I'm like, yeah, no, it's not a joke. I'm about to fail out of my master's.
He was like, I need a babysitter.
I need a babysitter, like ASAP. And then I remember, I just had so much confidence in you because of what I saw in you from the 8th grade, that it wasn't even like, oh, I'm scared to leave my
kids with
6-month-old. I don't even know how old Amari was. 5 months, 4 months. He was really young.
Yeah. Because you literally just had him.
Right. And I was, and so I had to go to my husband. He's just like, oh, I don't know this girl, and oh, you're gonna get in trouble. You can't be having relationships with your students. And I said, listen, listen.
Pass my school.
Listen, I'm about to fail. Do you have another solution? You don't. And I said to him, I said, trust me.
Yeah.
You have to trust this young lady.
Yeah.
And I remember you came to me and you were like, very honest, like, Miss, I don't even know how to make formula. Like, you gotta help me. And I was like, no problem, and then I showed you, and like everything else, you picked it up.
Yeah.
And then I'm so grateful to you because I was able to, be in a calm space while in the evening and at night, because I think one of my classes ended at like 9:30.
Really late.
But I didn't have to worry because I knew that Amari was taken care of. But what you guys need to also know is that it wasn't just Natasha taking care of Amari, she was also taking care of my other three without me even asking. You know what I mean? Like ironing their uniforms, checking their homework.
We did homework,
making sure they had shower. When I came home, I don't remember, the school was like, the class was like diagnosing reading problems or something like that. And it was tutoring first. And then after the tutoring, we had like the lecture. So it was like a 4-hour class. I feel like I got out at like 9 o'clock or something like that. And when I came home, I was exhausted, but Amari's baby bag was packed, Pampers was done, extra clothes. Amari had his bath, he was asleep, the kids were like asleep, uniform on, and I was like, wow, what a blessing this young lady is to me when I really needed her. So I know you like to talk about what I've done for you, but you've also done a lot for me, and you have also been a blessing to me and to my family, because my sons, those 3 you was on in their uniform, they still look up to you, they still like, oh, that's my sister, that's my sister, that's my sister. Right. So
Miss Mills was a blessing to me because I remember we had prom and you was like, I don't see your name on the prom list. What happened? You're not coming? I was like, oh no, I'm not going because my mom said she don't have no money to give me to buy a prom dress. And you said, what? I'm getting you the prom dress.
Yes.
And you bought me my prom dress.
I did. I was like, this girl deserves she deserves this. She deserves a prom. She deserves a last party with her friends. And my thing was, you guys have been together for a couple of years, your friends, your peers. And now you all going on to high school. And everyone's going to different high schools. And you may not see each other, like you were. And I didn't even think about it, honestly. I didn't think about
it happened so
the funds. I didn't think about, am I taking away from my kids, type of thing. It was like, I'm doing this. The only thing I was really concerned about is if I could do it. And so I remember going to my supervisor at the time and saying, I want to do this for her. Is that okay? Will I get in trouble for like buying her prom dress? And he's like, no, I think that's a great thing that you're doing that for her. And I did it. And I did it. We went to Macy's. We went to Kings Plaza. We went to Macy's and we tried on a few dresses.
Got the dress
and the shoes too. We got the shoes there. And then I said to you, you'll be okay. Your hair, your nails. And you're like, no. This is all I needed or whatever. And then I didn't think about it anymore until you showed up at prom, and I was like, wow, you look so beautiful. And you started crying, ruining the makeup. I was like, whoa, what's happening? I didn't think about it, again. So I just feel like when things are in my spirit and God leads me to do things, I just kind of like go with the flow.
It meant so much to me because never asked for nothing.
Right. You didn't.
I never want to put my burden on people. I've always been laid back, even though I heard the words that my mom said she didn't have it, and I know in my heart I wanted to go, and I kept saying, it's fine.
Yeah, you did say that.
And I was okay with it at the time.
Right.
But then looking back and playing it back in my head, to know that God led you to make me enjoy that day that I could have missed. Because you only get one day of an 8th grade prom.
That's true.
That meant so much to me. Many people want to be in your shoes and don't know the journey that you've gone through.
Absolutely.
And I've gone through so many battles.
Right.
But you was one of the few that saw it in me.
I did. I still do.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And you know, I'm not even, as you're talking about it, I'm not even, I guess I don't know the impact. It's like something like you said earlier. I don't know. I don't really fully know the impact that I have on my students. Even now, still doing this in my 27th year. Is this my 27th year? No, this is my 28th year.
Wow.
I still don't know, you know. I just show up. I show up with my whole heart.
Your whole heart.
My whole heart. With 100%.
Yeah, you do.
I just show up every day. And every day is not a good day, you know.
Yeah.
Especially now, in this day and age, the kids are really suffering. They're battling a lot at home that I don't even know what's going on. And they bring that energy into the classroom, and I have to still be me with my open heart, you know, as they're being rude, as they're being disrespectful, you know. And I just be like, you know, I just gotta show them, you know. I just gotta show them. I gotta show them what it's like to be loved, what it's like to show respect for others, what it's like to be kind. I have to show them. This is all before you teach. You start teaching, you know, the content areas, you know. And I run into students occasionally, and it's like, it's weird. It's like I'm a movie star, and I'm just like, what? And they're like, Miss Mills, oh my God, you was my teacher. And then because I've been in 3 schools, I have to be like, okay, what school were you in, type of thing. And then, you know what I noticed? I noticed that when I'm at my very, very low point, I'm at my very, very low. Like, I've had the roughest day. Like, I had to battle a parent, you know. And
tell
I
me
worked
more
so
about
hard.
Your parent and your upbringing. I know you said you was brought up by your paternal grandmother due to your parents being in drugs and stuff.
Yes.
So tell me more about that.
So I grew up alone. I just want to say that, like, not alone, like there were no people around me, but alone in here. Like, I felt alone and by myself. I was raised by my paternal grandmother, which you don't see often. So that's my father's mother. It's usually the mother's mother that, you know, takes over. I grew up in the projects. I grew up in Queensbridge projects. You know, that I mean, I love Queensbridge, you know. I love the loudness of it, the kids outside, you know, but with projects comes, you know, drugs, alcohol abuse, teenage pregnancy, prostitution, all those things, you know. And so my grandmother kind of shielded me and protected me from that, because she knew that once I went out in the street, those things are there, right? So she tried to protect me from that in one way, just, you know, telling me all the time that, you know, education is your key out of this mess. You know, you can get out. Education is the key. So, like, that was instilled in me
Yeah.
at a young age. And I remember I was like 10 years old, and I was like, yeah, nah, this is not for me. Like, yeah, nah, I can't. I can't. I remember being made fun of because they had a library right across the street from where we lived, and I was a bookworm always. I loved reading. I didn't know that I liked writing until maybe middle school. Wasn't middle school, I was in Catholic school, and I started to write, and I was like, and my teachers was like, oh, this is good, that's when I started writing. But I always loved reading, and in the summer I would go, and then I would take out all these books, so many books I couldn't even hold. And I would be struggling across the street, and the guys would be like hanging out by the candy store, and they'd be like, look at you bookworm, look at you with all these books, and da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da. I mean, all I needed was the glasses, right, to complete the nerd look. But I use books and readings to escape, I would say, to escape the pain of feeling alone. In the projects, everybody got their mother. You know what I'm saying? Like, there may be no father in the picture, or you may have the same father as the girl on the other block, or over here, everybody in the projects is somehow related, right? But for me, it was different. It was kind of like a sadness, because, girl, you don't even have your mother or your father. And
so what went through your head knowing that you had no mother, no father?
I felt unloved, honestly. I felt really sad. I felt like I had no one to talk to. I felt those things. It was hard for me. I cried a lot, but I didn't show that, to my grandmother. I felt alone. And my dad was honestly in the picture.
So you had a relationship with your parents?
I had a relationship with my dad. He remarried and had kids, and he tried to get me as much as possible. And when I was with him and my stepmother and my brothers, I felt good. I felt good. I felt good. I will say he did that for me. And my stepmother did that for me. I would definitely say 100%. They did those things for me to make me feel welcome. They never, I never really felt like a stepchild. You know what I mean? But I think every child wants the love of their parents,
especially of their mom.
Yes. And my mom, I didn't understand it at the time because I was a young child, but she suffered tremendously with drug abuse and alcoholism, and she just wasn't fit. She couldn't do it. Not that she didn't want to, she just couldn't. She wasn't fit. She wasn't at it. And so...
And that's an illness.
That is an illness. That is an illness. And I thank God for my grandmother, because she did tell me those things at a young age. Maybe she thought she shouldn't have told me, but I asked a lot of questions, and she did tell me. So even at an early age, I kind of understood that it's not that she didn't want to, it's that she could not. But still that pain was there. And I remember being young and asking myself a lot, like, why? Like, why?
Why me?
Like, why I don't have parents? Like, why? Not to diffuse what my grandmother was doing, but just that was what was in my heart. I felt like that is what was missing, and then
do you think that journey kind of shaped you and molded you to who you are today?
Absolutely. Because I think because I struggled so much and because I felt that pain, that's probably what led me to be an educator and to be a teacher and to be that caring person for students who maybe don't get that at home. Absolutely. Your beginnings shape you. And so even if you had a rough beginning, because I felt like I did have a rough beginning, even if you do, you use that. You use that to propel you. You use that to shape what's coming next for you and for your life. And again, maybe I didn't know that at the time, but I definitely used that pain. And I remember also being young saying, like, if I have children, I'm going to be that present mom for my children, because my mom wasn't. You know, I'm going to be that present person. I'm going to be that present. And then I also was like, just in my mind thinking, you know, I want to be married. You know, I don't want to be a statistic, you know, of a young black woman that's just single, having a baby by this one, having a baby by that one. Like, I want something stable. I want stable, that, loving home. You know, and maybe I was saying that, and maybe I didn't realize that I was actually praying that. You know what I mean? I was just saying that in my head, that these are the things that I want. At that age,
did you know God?
I did, but like, so my grandmother started me on the journey as a Muslim, so Islam. So I did know God. Like, you know, I did go to the mosque and different things like that. So I did know God. And then my grandmother started getting sick, and like, you know, Alzheimer's and different things like that. And then she kind of went back to her roots, which is Christianity. She grew up in the South, Baptist, Mississippi. And then, you know, she started like saying different things, but I didn't really know how to get myself to church. And then I met Brian Mills, and we started a family together. Still, we weren't really going to church like that.
And how old were you when you met your husband? Because you guys are still happily married. Daddy, I love you.
I was 17.
And how many
I was
years?
17, so total this January is going to be 40 years. 4 decades that we've been together.
Of black love, guys.
40 years. 31. We made 31 years married in September.
Wow.
But I started school early, so I was 17 in college. Wow. And I met him. And then, you know, we started dating, and then we had 2 children before we actually got married. And then so he grew up in an Anglican church, and so we would go and we made sure we had all the kids baptized, christened, whatever, but we weren't really going consistently. And so I literally found God again when I moved to PA, and I actually joined a faith-based church that I'm still a part of. And I just grew from there, you know. So I always had God in my life, always, you know, always. But I think having God in your life and knowing who God is 2 different things.
2 different things.
2 different things. Okay, so I definitely had God in my life, but I didn't really know him. I didn't really have a relationship with him as I do now. And that faith-based church called Faith International Church, that like bridged the gap. And, you know, I started like having, I don't know, like a hunger for God. And that was when, you know, my life kind of shifted to where my husband and I was living apart. He was in New York, and I was traveling back and forth to PA. The kids were still young. You know, to keep my job in the city as a teacher.
And you guys were living separately because of work purposes, not because you guys had discord.
But anyways, that's a strain on the marriage. You know, just living apart is just a big strain.
Of course.
And so I was going through it, and, you know, I turned to God. You know, I built my relationship. Did I want to quit? Oh, absolutely. It was hard. You know, life is hard.
You was waking up early.
I was waking up early. Had the kids. I had the commute. Then when I get to Washington Heights, you know, the kids were cutting up. Then I had to get back on that bus. Then I had to get home. I had to cook. I had to prepare.
And you
go to bed early.
Over and over. I know.
Until I have my best friend and my husband by my side. It was a strain. It was a big strain. But that's when I started to build my relationship with God. You know what I mean? I was like, I don't know if I could do this, God. Like, I don't know. I gotta exit stage left. Like, what's happening? You know? But I also want to commend my husband because through the storm, he never gave up on us. Ever. Not once. And he kept telling me, you know, Vanessa's gonna get better. Vanessa's gonna get better. Trust me, it's gonna get better. You know, I feel what you feel in the separation. It's just that you are displaying your feelings more as women, you know. We display our feelings more, you know. So where I saw him just being nonchalant, you know, he was saying to me, it's also hurting me, you know. So don't give up on us. Don't give up on us.
Mr. Mills, from my side of view, and my point of view, coming to your home, when you guys welcome me in your home, he was this sharp, stern, said very few words, but you saw that love in his eyes. You knew that he loved you. And even when he would ask me, you're not eating? I'm like, oh, you're...
Yes.
Because... I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm not trying to cry this whole episode, but I think this needed to be said because sometimes you've been overlooked so much that you just think the next person is going to do the same thing. And I just saw him as, you know, he said very few words. He didn't say much, but I felt the love, and I felt it because I didn't have anyone like a father figure that I ever felt love before. And he gave me that.
He saw you.
He did.
He
did, even when he never said anything. Never had to say it. But he showed it.
And he trusted me. He trusted me when I said, I'm telling you, Natasha is the person to care for our son. I'm telling you. And then I guess when I was in school also, and you were there doing the little things for Amari, he saw that. He didn't say anything, but he saw that. And then I remember he came to me one day. He's like, you know that girl Natasha, she just grew on me. She grew on me, you know. So you shouldn't take that silence for someone that's not paying attention, because he pays attention to the details.
He saw it, he's seen it, and even when I didn't even know he was seeing it, I'm watching it. I'm not doing it for, you know, a thank you or a hand me down or anything. I did it genuinely because I wanted to help, and I didn't know I was helping you. I thought you was actually helping me because I was running away from what I was going through. So that was my safe space, and my safe haven was going to your house. So he definitely is a strong black man that I look up to, and I'm so happy that you chose him to be your husband.
So happy, thankful, grateful for him. He is, I tell everybody, and they look at me crazy, but he really is the love of my life. Has always been. It's just, you know, we went through that tough, rough spot. And, you know, he always told me, he still tells me, you know, marriage is not about the day, it's about the journey. It's about the journey, you know. And people have these all drawn out $50,000 weddings and stuff, and then you guys are divorced in the next year. He always told me it's about the journey, and I didn't quite understand it until we was going through what we was going through, and we made it through. And then, check this out though, right? When you make it through the journey, whoa, it's amazing. It's amazing. It's amazing. It's like, wow, I did that. I went through that. And then you come out on the other side stronger than ever. Stronger than ever. Like, so
unscathed.
I'm here to tell everyone, like, that's married, you know, you have to go through what you go through.
The fire.
Yeah, you have to go through the fire.
And a lot of people want to get the victory, but never want to walk through that fire.
Yeah.
And never want to go through the battle. No, you have to go through the fire.
Have to go through the battle.
You gotta go through that pain.
Yes.
You gotta be scathed to get unscathed.
Yes.
There is always a process, and sometimes we look at it as it's a delay. No, God is developing us. And that's why it the frustration was kicking in, right?
Yeah.
You guys were frustrated at that time, or I was frustrated when, you just didn't see or couldn't see what God had in store for us.
Exactly.
But we stayed in the process. There's many teachers that are out there that have no idea that makes such a great impact on student, and Miss Mills was one of them. Thank you.
I was just listening to what you were saying, and each time I enter the classroom, I just try. One of the things I do, I'm not saying that I reach every student, because it's impossible. You don't reach every student, but I try to create a safe space for them. Recently, because of my business, it's gone from, decorating the room and changing it up for each season. Just coming in, just simple things too. Sometimes it's the littlest things that matter, right? So coming in and good morning. And then I'll say good morning, and I'll keep saying it, and then I start screaming, and they're like, Miss, why are you screaming? I said, oh, because I'm waiting for you to say good morning back. Like when someone says good morning to you, you should respond with good morning back. When I have them in the afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, because I feel like no one does those things to them. No one greets them. Good morning is kind of like a greeting. It's a greeting out of love. It's a greeting to set your day. It's a greeting to get you on your path for the day, And I feel like that's not done. So I try to say good morning. When I come in on Monday, I try to say, how's your weekend? And then the kids will be like, oh, Miss, how was your weekend? What did you do? They'll be like, oh, were you in PA? Were you in Brooklyn? Also, I share a lot about myself, my story, not too in depth, but just to let them know, I have 5 sons, I am married, I have 8 grandchildren, that type of thing. And then I may share a funny story about my sons and different things, or about my grandsons, so that they can see me as a person, and as a human, right? And then I remind them too, I remind them that, especially when it comes to respect, right? So you're not just disrespecting your teacher, you're disrespecting a mother, you're disrespecting a grandmother, then I flip it, you wouldn't want anyone disrespecting your mother, right? Or your grandmother, right? And then I also show them what respect is, because they're thinking respect is, I'm gonna cuss you out. That's the disrespect, right? But it's also me speaking to you and you doing the exact opposite of what I'm saying, right? It's also like when I'm asking you to be quiet for this short time so I could deliver the mini lesson, you still chatting. When I'm asking you to put that candy away and you still chomping in my face as I'm speaking. Facts. I had to tell a little girl yesterday, I told her, put her, whatever it is, the sour strip candy. And I was like, and she just chewing away like it's okay. You know what I'm saying?
I used to sneak at
right? Oh, this one.
I got Miss Mills, right? Miss Mills, I love you, but I want to eat myself.
Natasha would bend down, right? She would bend down, have her bag right here, sneak a few chips, come up, not knowing that there was crumbs. I'd be like, is she serious right now?
I remember there was a time where I think a student threw a paper ball at you, and they didn't know that we were close, and I was in that class.
I don't remember that.
And you said, who threw that paper ball? And nobody said nothing, and of course I was gonna tell her.
I don't even remember that.
You was like, who? But I couldn't snitch, publicly.
Right.
But I definitely snitched and told you. I was like, oh no, that person did it. Yeah.
Right.
And I was like your eyes in that class, because the kids back in my days, they were grown. And they were dealing with like adult stuff.
Right. As today
too. They're dealing with a lot of stuff. I had friends who looked up to me or was in my same circle who got kicked out of her home, and one who's, was being molested by someone,
right.
Who was older than her. And so a lot of people was dealing with a lot of things. So by the time we came to your class, we just unloading all our frustration on you. We couldn't even get settled in. But you understood us, and you made teaching fun. You made learning fun. I don't know if you knew I had like a learning disability.
You told me recently, and I actually didn't catch that as my second year teaching. I didn't catch that you were. I just thought that you needed a little bit more assistance, right?
Yeah.
And help. And I started my career teaching science, which is not an easy thing to teach, and the kids do not like science.
But you made it
at
fun.
all.
You really made it fun.
I tried, I did try to take the things that kids like, and all kids like to eat, And so I remember doing this lab with the layers of the earth, and using I think it was the cake, the ring ding or something like that, and then putting the M&M in the middle, as the crust and the center, and then we used the toothpicks and we labeled it, and then y'all was like, okay, can we eat it now, type of thing. So
you made it very fun.
And I love science always. It's just a hard subject to teach, and to make it fun and engaging. And I think one of the things is kids don't like you standing up and talking for 45 minutes. They want to go to work and do things.
Yes, absolutely.
Right? And so I was like, right away, I got to do labs. I got to do labs. Even the cleaning up, they're okay with that, So I had to do labs too.
So you had a balance in your class where you did the lecture and you did hands-on, which was very helpful, because you kind of lose us after talking for 30, 40 minutes. And we're like, okay, miss, I don't even know what you said.
Right.
I'm so sorry.
Right. I'm tired.
This is boring. I'm hungry, and this is boring.
Right.
And do I need this?
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
So yeah. But you did a good job teaching.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm still not teaching science anymore, but I'm teaching English, so it's still that same balance. I can't do labs in English, but I could send the kids in groups, and I could let them talk about the text, and I could let them take notes, give them roles, and then I do things like they stand up. We do a thing like a jigsaw, right? So each table will take one particular part of the text, read it again, learn it again, pick out the central idea, the supporting details, and then they teach it to the rest of the class.
Okay.
And they like things like that, and it also teaches them how to be in groups. Because in the real world, you're gonna have to work with different types of people with different personalities, and it teaches them to actually work with people they don't really like. They have to learn that balance, and they have to learn how to do things, and so I encourage them, and they be like, oh well, I don't like this person, miss, why you got me working with this person? And it's like, you need to learn how to work with this person, right? Because in the real world, I always bring everything back to the real world.
A lot of parents are not able to be involved in their child's life or education because they're just so overwhelmed with work, right? They're so consumed with work, right? Or with other children that they have, or their lifestyle. There's just, kids who are parents who are homeless, right? And the kids has to pretend that everything is okay. And it's like my story. I wasn't homeless, but I could have very much be homeless. Right. I didn't have the parent support because mom was working 24 hours, 7 days a week to provide for you. Right. If they don't go to work, then what happens?
Right.
Then you don't eat. So some parents can't be there. So what do you do for those kids where the parents can't be involved?
So I started doing things like phone calls, you know, because I know that parents are working, and they can't come in for a meeting, or they just don't have the time, or they're working nights, or whatever the case is. So in our school, in all the schools in New York City, we do parent outreach. So it's like an allotted time where the teacher is reaching out to the parent any way they can. I know I'm not supposed to, but parents have my phone number. So I tell them, you know, you can just text me, just a quick, you know, I'm just checking in, making sure my child handed in the homework, or how's the behavior today, just a quick checking in, because I can easily text, you know, on the train on my way home or whatever. And I feel like parents are appreciating that more. Like, you meeting me where I'm at. Like, you're realizing I cannot do parent-teachers conference. I cannot join the Zoom. The Zoom is, in a way, to me, ridiculous because the kids have 5 subjects, right? They have math, science, social studies, English, and now you expecting the parent to join every single Zoom link. It's just like a lot.
And some parents don't have internet,
and and it's the technology, and it's Wi-Fi issues, right? Because one parent was telling me, because I actually had parent teachers conference on Thursday, and one parent was like, "Oh, Miss Mills, I don't know if it's me or it's you. I think I'm getting kicked off the Wi-Fi." One parent was like, "Wait, I'm not even on the right Wi-Fi. You know, let me fix this." You know, so it's you know, it's a lot. So I'm trying to at least call, and I'm trying to at least text to make sure that I'm meeting the parent where they at, because there's a lot going on. You're right, there's a lot going on at home, there's a lot going on with the students. But what I was hinting at is, for instance, if I'm calling a parent, you know, and I always start with something positive. Because in every child there's something positive.
Absolutely.
The worst of kids, there's something positive. And you find that, and you start, because you don't want the parent to be defensive. I'm a parent, and I know I'm still defensive. And my children are in their 30s. You know what I mean? Like, I'm still going to be defensive because those are my kids, right? Don't talk about my kids type thing. So I always started off with something positive, and then I may get into, you know, what your child needs to. Right.
It's called a sandwich. You say something good, then you say the meat, like what's happening, and you just close it with, you know, hopefully we can work on this situation, right? And so I have a problem with parents who are so defensive that they are not even getting the message that I'm saying, you know. And it hurts me because it's hurting the kids.
And it hurts the kids, right? And it hurts me because it hurts me, but then I also get angry because I'm like, listen, I'm with your kid. I only want what's best for your child. So if I'm saying that your child is unorganized, you know, and, you know, they need to be better organized, because when I'm going to check the homework, they don't know where the homework is. You know what I mean? They're flipping pages after I've already organized their notebook into 2 sections. Like, what's happening? Type of thing. Like, I'm like confused. Like, we have a reading section, we have a writing section. This kid is just flipping, looking for the homework. You know, and organization, believe it or not, is the key to success, right? And so if I'm saying this about your child, why are you immediately going to level 1000 on me? The person who legit has the best interest of your child. And so, like, that angers me. And I think also, the parents, as you said, are going through so much whatever, don't have a job, trying to make ends meet. And so
you're giving them that grace sometimes.
So, but as we're like saying something about their child, they're just immediately like shut down, immediately offensive. And, you know, I just want to say to those parents, you know, give us a chance. Like, we understand that you are going through things, but understand also that we're going through things because we're in the classroom with your child all day, but then we also have a life outside of that. And you don't know what's going on in our lives. You know, you don't know what's going on with our husbands, our kids, our this and that, but we still show up every day with 100% of our heart on the table for your child. You know, understand that when we're saying things about your child, it's not to be taken as a negative. It should be taken as, okay, I need help. We need to work together.
Let's work together.
Like, to try to improve what's going on with your child. Not like, oh, this teacher, like, coming back at us like, what are you doing? And like, oh, you're a bad teacher. And, you know, so at one point I had to stop a conference, like, because the parent was irate, the parent was loud. And this is also the God in me. Right? So the parent is screaming at me, yelling at me, and all this type of thing. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to give her that same thing energy back. No, absolutely not. Not gonna meet that and so I said, quite just like, I'm not doing this. You know, I'm not doing this. This conversation is over. You know, I'm done. Basically, I'm done. You know, and I handed it over to the next teacher, and she, you know, she was still screaming and irate. You know, but when parents do that, it kind of defeats us in a way. You know, like, we feel defeated because we're the first responders to your child. You know, we're the first responders, and understand that we got 20 kids or more in the classroom. That's 20 different personalities, plus our own personality, plus, you know, teaching is not about the curriculum anymore. I guess it never was about the curriculum. It's about your heart. It's about you noticing, okay, this kid is off today. Let me find out what's going on with this kid. Oh my gosh, this one is not sitting down. Why isn't this one sitting down? Why is this one so loud? Like, why does this one keep talking? You know, it's trying to manage 20 different or so personalities in one room to make it work, along with
the lecture,
along with the curriculum. You know, and so when I say I put my heart on the table, you know, I tell the kids too, if something's going on at home, like, I don't say the personal aspect of it, but I'm like, listen, I'm letting you know, I'm being transparent. I'm not well. I am not well. I am not myself. I am going through something. I need you to know that. Because I don't want to come here and take something out on you when you have nothing to do with what I am going through presently. So I need you to know that. And when I do that, my students see me as a person, and then they're like, okay, we're gonna chill. Like, we're gonna like. And when I say that, when I tell you the kids are amazing, they are amazing. And I say that to them because I also want them to do that for me. Like, I want them to say, Miss, I need to step out. Miss, I need to take a walk. Miss, I'm not okay. Miss, can I see the guidance counselor? Can I see the dean? Can I go downstairs and call my mother? Can I go to the nurse? I need them to be able to be transparent with me and say to me, I'm not well. And like you mentioned the mental issue, right? And our kids, they face that. They got mental health issues, but you have to allow them a safe space to say, I'm not okay. I'm not okay. And I say to them, look, you don't have to tell me the nitty gritty of what's going on. I just need to know that you're not okay, and what can I do?
What can I do to help?
What can I do? I don't need to know everything that's going on in your life.
And I
don't
think
need to
that's
know
what
your
you
story.
did for me. I don't think you knew my story in depth, but you just knew the surface of it, and you just reacted. Now, you didn't know the details. Like, I didn't tell you until I got older,
Right.
and kind of shared with you what I was going through and what I faced. But you still looked at me and said, I got you. I got you. And not many teachers does that.
Right.
You know, today or back then, you know, not many teachers have that strength to do that, or have that character to do that, have the personality to do that. Some people are just collecting $1, right?
Facts.
Some people are just, you know, trying to survive.
Right.
You know, this is what I'm seeing today, where we're all just surviving. We're not really living. We're not really molding anymore.
We're not listening.
And we're not listening.
We're not listening. Listening is not just what people are telling you.
Yeah.
It's also observing what people are doing.
Yeah.
It's observing what they're not saying.
Yeah, what they're not saying.
It's
That
observing the
is deep.
silence.
Yeah.
You know? We're not listening.
Yeah. You have to ask yourself, why is that kid so angry or so bad or so fidgety? Why? You have to ask yourself why. Because there's always a story behind that kid. And there's always a pain behind that kid.
Yeah.
But it takes that one person to tap into that kid to make that kid a better person.
Definitely.
When did you learn that, God, I'm a steadfast in you. I'm not going to shift. I'm not going to break. I'm not going to sway or entertain the enemy. I'm not going to give you what they want. When did you learn that?
Well, through church at that time. I was commuting, and I just found my home there at Faith International Church under Pastor Don Lynch.
Yeah.
God rest his soul. And you know, his preaching just got to me. You know, his preaching about the enemy and to stay, you know, steadfast. So as he was preaching it, obviously I wasn't going through what I was going through, but it was still here.
It was still there.
It was still here. And so when I started going through it, I recognized what it was, right? And so I was prepared with my armor.
Come on.
With God's armor.
Come on.
I was prepared with the breastplate.
Come on.
Let's go.
Come
right?
on.
I was prepared.
Come on.
You know? It's an uncomfortable situation, but
you was ready.
I was
for
ready.
the enemy,
I was ready.
for anything.
I was ready for anything. You know, when God's trying to move you, He makes it uncomfortable.
Uncomfortable to get comfortable.
Yeah, He makes it uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I actually knew that was going to happen to me as well. And so I was preparing my mind. First day, they threw me in second grade. Lord have mercy. In my mind, I'm screaming like, God, second grade? Are you kidding me? Like, I cannot do second grade. And I went in there like I knew I was what I was doing. I didn't have a clue, you know, and I used the kids, and I was just like, you know, oh, where does your teacher, you know, put this? And tell me how your teacher does this, right? Because I didn't have a clue, and he was telling me, and he was tattling on each other. Oh, you know, miss, that one is bad. Or was and when they said that, I said, oh, well, that one don't know me because I'm bad too, you know, that type of thing. And I made it through a whole day of second grade, and then the next day, their regular teacher came back. And when the kids saw me, they came and they hugged me. And that teacher was like, wow, you had an impression. And in my mind, I was still like, I don't do like little kids. And then from there.
But that's God showing you that anywhere you go, you still are powerful.
Right.
You still would leave an impression on kids and on your students. So whether they were the second graders or the eighth graders, you still made an impact.
Right.
And that's amazing.
Right.
So it didn't matter.
It didn't matter, but it was, you know, for me,
the physical labor,
uncomfortableness,
not know where
for
you're
me
going.
because I'm used to middle school,
stability,
you know, and then from second grade I went to kindergarten. I even went further down. Like, wait, what is happening? Like they, you know, You know, it was a journey, and I appreciated that journey because now I know I could do that. Like I could do small, medium, large, you know, like I can do that. And the principal saw that and came to me like, oh my God, how can I keep you? I need to keep you. Like, how do it's about to kick you out to another school. He's like, okay, I'm going to find out. And then the next email I got was like a month later. Oh, you're going to be at this assignment for another month. And then Christmas time came, and the principal called me in the office and was like, you know, I'm regrouping the middle school. I'm changing everything, changing the schedules. I'm going to give you your own classroom.
Oh.
And you know, I got to that school in October.
Oh.
And by Christmas break, this principal was like, I'm giving you your own classes, and said to me, you know, all this time I was putting you in all these elementary school classes and had no idea until I saw your resume that you're actually a middle school teacher. So now I'm going to use you. Wow. And as soon as he used me, and as soon as I felt like
this is where I belong,
I was back in the realm, COVID hit. Yeah. Wow. As soon as I felt like, oh, okay, this is where I want to, you know, COVID hit. And, you know, we all went remote. And during COVID, you know what this principal did? You know what he did? He put me on his budget. Wow. And I didn't even know. And I say this to him even now, you saved me. Just like how you say I saved you. There's people positioned in your life for a particular time. And they are positioned in your life for a particular time. And sometimes it is to save you. Yeah. It is to save you. Yeah. And when I say that to him, even today, he'll say, oh, but you know, Miss Mills, you were an amazing teacher. I was just, you know, I just saw that you were amazing and I wanted to keep you. He put me on his galaxy and I didn't even know. COVID, the first year ended, and I was talking to him and I said, what do I do? He's like, what do you mean? And I'm like, you know, for the next school year, like, what do I do? Do I come back? And then he's like, oh, you could come back as many times as you want. And I was like, well, like, I don't understand. And then I guess, you know, he started laughing. I'm like, no, really. Like, what's happening? Like, let's get serious. Like, what's going on? He said, Miss Mills, I long time ago, I put you on my galaxy. Long time. And I'm still at that school. Wow. I never left. Wow. I never went to another school for 2 weeks and 2 weeks and 1 week and 5 weeks. I never went. I never left. Wow. And I've been under 3 different principals, including him. Wow. And I was just blessed. So I want to tell the viewers here, right, that when God closes a door, come on, trust me, trust and believe, he is opening another better door for your future. Trust the process that God has for you. You have to trust the process, and it is uncomfortable. I will tell you, it is uncomfortable. It's scary. It's uncomfortable. It's scary. But trust the process. He has you. Walk in what he has for you. Close that door and don't ever look back. And move forward in the door that he's opening for you. Guys, she said it better. What's for you is for you. And no one can take away that blessing that God has for you. And every season, whoever you encounter, there are people that's going to be in your life for a reason and a season, and some for a lifetime. So take heed into that. Steadfast, remain still. The Bible say, be still and know that I am God. So be still and understand who God is and where he's taking you, and you will not regret. I'm your girl, Dr. Tash,
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Miss Mills.
Thank you for having me.
For being that entrepreneur. You have the pop-up.
Everybody messes up my business name. It's okay. You guys can follow me on Instagram, poppin_Pocono_party. I just started my own party planning business. It's almost 5 years. It's a small business. I'm doing great things. I'm excited. It's not about party planning, but it's also about my creativity. Just making gift baskets. Right now I'm working on some masquerade ball masks, balloon arches, everything. Like, the clients come to me and say, can you do this? I may have never done it, but I try it. So it's more than a party planning business, but that's my new thing that I'm doing now on the side. So
check her out on Instagram, get her book as well, and the next person or your teacher that you see, or someone that you see that you may feel like is going through something, just give them a hug, listen to them, be an ear, be an eye, be a blessing to them. And we're here at the TelaTash, where pain speaks and purpose answers. I love you guys. You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe in that little person. You have to believe for your kids. Initially, I started